Bliss everyone, Rissa Vibes here, aka Readings by Rissa. So excited to connect with you as always. Today is Sunday, another beautiful day for this web of light of community to connect and just reintegrate the energy of this last week and get prepped and ready for the energy of this week moving forward. I absolutely love this day to go live with you all and to connect with you all. It's so fun for me. So thank you for joining me as you all get situated and connect here. Feel free to comment below on how you're doing this week, where you're tuning in from, and just say hello. It's good to have you here. If you don't know me, my name is Rissa Vibes, aka Readings by Rissa, and I'm an intuitive coach. And I help spiritually curious people understand their gifts, their intuition, and their expansion in their spiritual growth and enlightenment path. So if you're one of those people, then you're at the right place. And I'm so excited to have you all here. So thank you for joining me. We've got a lot to cover today, lots of energy to discuss. We have a new moon in Pisces at the end of the week. We're entering Mercury Retrograde in Pisces overnight into tomorrow. And we also have our 2222 portal that we've been in since the 2nd of February that we are ending on Saturday. So lots of energy to cover, lots of things to talk about. So I'm going to be moving pretty quickly throughout this reading just so we can get everything in at a reasonable time. But thank you for joining me, and I'm going to first just lead you all through a beautiful meditation just to get ourselves nice and comfortable and connected here and to allow some more people to join as we do so. So let's take this time to just start to center your focus inward. You can close your eyes, get nice and comfortable and relaxed. We're just going to use this couple of breaths to get really connected as a collective and connected within as we take a nice deep breath in. Big breath out to relax into your center, releasing any tension, releasing any distractions with another deep breath in, expanding the heart chakra as you breathe. And big breath out to relax fully. And another deep breath in, biggest one yet, opening up to all the divine messages of today and this week. And exhaling fully to relax. Breathing here on your own for a moment at your own natural pace, setting an intention for yourself for today or this week, an energy that you want to feel, an emotion you want to acquire, an experience you want to have, just setting an intention for how you want your day or week to go. Allowing that intention to be yours, claiming it as your own, and knowing that as you claim this intention, you are manifesting it right here, right now, into the physical by believing in its reality. You are that powerful that you can create it. And taking another deep breath in with that intention. And exhaling as you bring that intention with you into the physical, waking yourself up, wiggling your fingers and toes, batting your eyes open, and getting ready for this reading. Thank you so much for joining me in those 3 breaths. It's so nice to connect in that way to make sure that we're all centered, that we're all bringing our best self forward, that we're connecting with this beautiful community here. And I'm so happy to start this reading. I want to see who we have so far. We've got Leslie here. Hey, Leslie. Gayton here is as well from Mojave Valley, checking in. All Connected is here from Little Rock, Arkansas. Nikki's here from AZ. Anita's here. So grateful to you as well, Anita. Thank you so much. PJ's here from Cali. Crystal Scott is here. Susan's here. Linda's here. Intention set for calm, she says. It feels good. Yes, I love that. Bianca is here as well. Good day, all. Susan says, bliss, Rissa, bliss to you, goddess. Good to see you. We've got 12 people viewing, 2 likes already. We've got a 12-2 code already on the live feed today. So exciting. And hello to all of you at home who are joining in after the replay or after the live, joining in for the replay. Hello, thank you for joining us too. All right, so I want to start with a review of last week like I always do. This is a review of the cards that I pulled last week, just so we can get familiar from where we are launching off from. So last week we had the full moon in Leo on that Sunday. And so we pulled a card for that, and it was the Magic Ritual card. And that was a really intense moon, right? And then in the beginning of the week, we had the Creativity card. Then in the middle of the week, we had the Courage card. And at the end of the week, we had the Children card. So really activating our curiosity and creativity in the beginning of the week, really getting really inspired and activated in that, in our art and in our ability to create. And then the courage, really stepping boldly into that creation, into the manifestations in the middle of the week. And then Children at the end of the week, really igniting our play, our inner child, our youthfulness, our joy, our pleasure. Really powerful week and weekend. And we're still activating that child card as well this weekend, right now, by just feeling into our youthful spirit, feeling into our sense of wonder and adventure, and getting ready for this week to come. We also had a lot of integration last week of that full moon in Leo, and really felt the energy, the presence of connection there. And so now we're prepping for the new moon in Pisces that is happening at the end of this week on Sunday, which we'll cover today and probably cover a little bit more next Sunday. And so I want to start by just talking about the spirit messages. I write all of my notes down so I don't miss anything because there's a lot to cover today. So I'm getting right into it with the spirit messages for this week to come, 2/16, which is today, to 2/23 next Sunday. So let's jump into it. And I want you all to keep it in your mind as well. Remind yourself that we're in February. We're right there in the middle of February. And February was the Daughter of the Phoenix card per our annual reading at the beginning of the year, which was all about rising above the ashes, rising above the fire, activating your inner phoenix, and really feeling that sense of protection and purpose and preparation for your new light, your new levels of success, your new enlightenment. And so if you're interested in activating that energy even further, I did post a February activation meditation for the initiation of your Phoenix energy and for the activation of your inner Phoenix. So I've already posted that on my YouTube channel, so you can check in the videos and you'll see that meditation. I encourage you to do it every day for the rest of February, just to activate that inner Phoenix and to help you rise above any challenges, anything of the past that you've overcome and closed the door on, and just feeling into that power, that spiritual elevation of your energy, okay? Really, really powerful stuff. Kenny says, what's up, Rissa? Good to see you. Thanks for joining. All right, so let's go ahead and, Anita says, my inner child was loving Valentine's Day. I love that. Yeah, happy Valentine's Day to everybody. Valentine's Day weekend, so much love in the air, so much connection. Love that excuse to just reconnect to unconditional love and to really revisit it throughout the year. I did a live yesterday on my Instagram and I talked about how important it was to check in with yourself at least every year on Valentine's Day. Is a nice way of kind of milestoning that check-in, but to check in with yourself on how your definition of love has shifted, what your definition of love is now, and really focusing in on expanding that definition, tapping into your unconditional love, and really diving deep into reflection on what love means for you each year. And I encourage you to do that even more regularly than once a year, but it's a nice practice for Valentine's Day. So definitely take advantage of that practice. Do some journaling about what love means to you, how love has shifted in your life, what you define love to be, and how you want to move more into love. So really, really powerful. Okay, so let's go ahead and talk about the spirit messages today. Let's dive into all of the intuitive messages I received in meditations and readings and just downloads throughout the week for this week to come. So the first message is peace and groundedness today. Lots of awareness and peace in our energy from the integration that we had last week. Lots of integration of that full moon in Leo last week, lots of integration of our own leveling up and experience in that. So we're feeling peaceful, we're feeling grounded in that awareness, and we really want to use that to our benefit this week. And it's so important to use that awareness that we get every time we activate, every time a new moon or a full moon hits, every time a big celestial event happens, every time we level up in our spirit, to really allow ourselves to ground it in, to integrate it like we talked about last week, and then to find that peace, that complete adjustment to that energy. So we're feeling that peace this week, and we're going to feel more of that as we enter this week and experience this week. We're also feeling a lot of preparation for the last phase of the 2222 portal, the 2222 portal. And that started on February 2nd, 2020 with 2222. And we're going to see that end on the 22nd of February, this Saturday, 2222, okay? So we're gonna feel, 2020 is the 22, by the way. So we're gonna feel that really strong full circle awareness. And I wanna go over the phases of this portal again so that we all know kind of what it looks like. So the first phase of the portal was on February 2nd, 2020. So we got 2/2/2020, so 4 2s there. And that first phase from the 2nd of February to the 12th of February was all about observation and identification of what we want to manifest during this portal. So we experienced a lot of ups and downs. That's when we were riding the waves and really feeling into all of the spectrum of energy, getting really clear on what we were observing, processing that, and choosing what we want to manifest from that. And then from 2/12 to 2/20, well, really up until now, right about now, is this energy of truth and faith, that essence of believing in the manifestation that you were generating. So that was the 2/12. Really happened mainly on that day, but we're feeling it throughout this week, and we felt up until this point of just faith and trust and truth of ourself, okay? And then we're going to feel into this last phase from the 12th to the 22nd, which we're in now, this last phase, and throughout this week, where we're really tapping into our purpose and our passions, and we're feeling that passionate igniting of our spirit that helps us pursue our purpose even more. And that's why I called this reading The Pursuit of Purpose, because that's what we're really feeling from that 2222 portal. And I say 2222 portal because that's what it is. It's 4 2s, not 3. We've had a 3/2 portal before, but this is 4 2s. And so it's an amplification even of the 222 portal that we've experienced in other times in the past. So really, really powerful with that 2020, adding that extra 2 and just adding that extra energy. So the first phase was observe, manifest, identify. Second phase, the midpoint on the 12th, was trust and faith and believe in that manifestation. And then this phase that we're in up until the 22nd is passion and purpose, elevating in that, okay? So really powerful energy. So we're gonna expect more growth in this week, more positivity, as long as we put forth positivity. So it's really important right now, because our manifestation power is so strong, to make sure that we're putting in positivity so that we can expect positivity to come back to us. This is the positive expectations breed positive outcomes mentality, okay? So really stay positive, really stay in your joy, really stay in your passion and your purpose and your pleasure this week. And you're gonna get even more blessings, opportunity, and abundance from source in activating that further. Really powerful. So passions, purpose, and truth is amplified this week. So enjoy that. Allow yourself to see the truth as it's amplified this week. Allow yourself to see your purpose as it's amplified this week, and your passions. And really take note of that. Really reflect on it and do something with it. Act on those passions and those purposes and those truths. Because when we act on something, when we put a behavior and action behind the intention or the energy, then we manifest that into the physical. So super important to use that sense of action this week to ground in a lot of that purpose, passion, and positivity. We're going to feel a culminations of these energies for harmony and balance as well. So we're going to feel our mind, body, and spirit and our physical essence really harmonizing with our purpose, harmonizing with our truth, harmonizing with our passion and our pleasure center. And we're going to feel more productive because of that. So there's a lot of energy for efficiency this week. So anything that you know you need to get done, anything you might have been procrastinating on up until this point, super important that you go ahead and take action to start working that energy, to start working that project or working that task that you've been delaying, because you have a lot of energy available to you to be productive and efficient with that. So allow yourself to focus and allow yourself to really just start somewhere, and that's what will propel you forward. Now we're going to have heightened intuition this week as well. We're blending the head and the heart, which is super important. So the heart gives us our emotional responses, and it gives us our emotional empathic intuition. And then the head space gives us our intuitive insight. And it also helps us to see and observe and identify things with the mind. And so that is a really powerful energy to harmonize, this ability to identify things with the mind and to observe and use that insight, but to also blend that with our emotional responses to things and to really activate positive emotional responses with those intentions and with those manifestations and observations. And also to really feel into our empathic energy that will help us make decisions and help us continue to pursue our purpose in a really strong way. So this is important to have that blending, that harmony. And with that, we're going to have new clarity on our purpose. And we're going to feel a readiness to evolve into our purest positive purpose and potential. So we're going to, as we blend the head and heart, as we really come into that harmony this week, we're going to feel more of that pure positive purpose. And we're going to get new awareness, new aha moments. Maybe you've been really trying to find your purpose, really trying to understand what you're meant to do here to serve the world as a light being. And you maybe have had some confusions, but this week a lot of that confusion is going to fall away when you reflect on what you see intuitively for yourself and what you feel you really are exhilarated by and passionate about. And that's going to really help to produce more of that purpose for you. Now, this involves inspiration integrated from last week. And so we're going to feel more of that creativity of last week, really integrated, feeling really strong in that creativity. And we're now going to be ready for more movement, like I said, more action, more behavior, more propelling forward in those inspirations and expansion this week. Lots of energy for expansion. So really taking advantage of the ability to see the bigger picture, to imagine things amplified, to imagine things at their biggest and purest energy. And so this is a really great kind of way to follow the path of your purpose, imagine your purpose, and kind of imagine the bigness of your purpose. How big do you want it to be? How expanded do you want it to get? How much of the world do you want to serve? Do you want to serve the whole world? Do you want to have the biggest version of your goals activated? Really let yourself imagine that and envision that bigness of your purpose expressed, because that is going to be a really powerful manifestation for you to tap into. So this is going to solidify our new paths with commitment to your manifestations. So the actions that you take are going to be important to commit to your manifestation. So whatever that means to you, act on commitment to your manifestation. Maybe that means choosing to buy that flight to the place that you know you're meant to go to elevate higher. Maybe it's the Belize retreat, right? Choosing to activate yourself in a powerful way by stepping into a new job opportunity or by stepping into a new perspective that you kind of maybe have been stepping or procrastinating on. Really committing to the new path that you see for yourself in whatever action that feels right to you, whatever action is calling you. Because when we commit in that way, that's when Source sees how serious we are and sees that we trust it to help us manifest the full expansion of our purpose. And so we really got to take that first step to commit, and then Source comes in and starts helping us take the next step and helping us take the next step and the next step. So really allow yourself to act on commitment of your manifestations, of what you want for yourself, and choose that. Because when you choose that, you become that version of that energy. You start vibrating at the level of that goal, of that manifestation, and then it becomes more and more drawn to you, more and more merged with your energy, and more possible, more real in your experience. So lots of solidifying of new paths with commitment to your manifestations. And with that, you're going to receive exciting validations from Spirit. You're going to receive the resources that you've been trying to manifest for the rest of that path that you're bringing forth and committing to. You're going to start feeling signs and synchronicities, downloads, new awarenesses that validate that commitment and that manifestation becoming real. So powerful. And this is such a beautiful experience from Spirit, because when we have that, it allows us to trust even more. And when we trust even more of that manifestation becomes real. Even more of those validations come forth. So the next message and the last Spirit message before we get into astrology, because there's a lot of astrology stuff to talk about. The last Spirit message is body care. Taking care of your body, taking care of your physical vessel, your temple, using that perspective of your body is your temple, making sure you're eating clean, making sure you're drinking lots of water, making sure that you're moving your body with exercise or yoga or just breathing, breath work, doing a lot of tuning the body, and really prepping the body for immune system amplification, really charging up your immune system, and really letting your body operate to its purest positive potential. Because we're so action oriented this week, so important that our body, our vessel for action, our vessel for movement, our vessel for physical manifestation is pure and connected and in flow and at its purest well-being. So pay attention to that, really nurture your body. This also includes sleeping when you feel called to sleep, getting enough rest, making sure that you keep your stress levels down, making sure that you're being kind to yourself and the way you perceive your body, and really just a lot of body care in every way. So important for this week, okay? So overall, peace, purpose, passion, truth, pleasure, productivity, lots of P's, efficiency, and new paths as well, and body care and validation from Spirit for the Spirit messages, okay? Let's see how you're all doing before we move on to astrology. Little Jamesy's here. Hey, Jamesy, good to see you. Is that Sabina Patrick? I think that is. Good to see you, babe. Martha's here as well. It's 222, Susan says. Everybody's saying 222. 1222 here, says Sabina. Good to see you, love. Let's see. Yes, everybody's feeling good. Susan says exactly. Quitting my job to work for myself brought an amazing week last week. Yes, absolutely. Linda says I'm exhausted. Happens whenever I go out in public. Definitely make sure you're putting your protection up around your aura when you're in public if you're feeling drained. Making sure to recharge yourself. And Willpower is here as well. So good to see you. Kiwi's here. So good to see you. And I am loving all of the shares. Thank you all for staying active. And there's 22 people viewing this session right now, this reading. So super exciting. All the twos to validate us. Okay, so real quick, the last little part of the Spirit messages is one intuitive word for each area of your life: work life, family life, spiritual life, love life. So let's look at that real quick. The work life intuitive word of this week is expansion. Expanding in your career in whatever way feels necessary, imagining how you want to expand in your career, whatever that means to you, and using that as a part of your manifestation goals this week, and you're stepping in with action to commit to that expansion. So maybe you want to expand into a new promotion, so start acting on it. Maybe you go talk to your boss and say, hey, whenever this promotion opens up, I'm interested. Or maybe you just start acting like you've already had this promotion and start taking on some of those responsibilities to show your employers that you have what it takes. Or maybe you just apply to it, right? Then the love life energy, the word of the love life is choices. Really focusing on your choices and really making clear choices through your own ability to connect to the heart, connect to the head, the insight and the emotional intuition, and feeling into what choices are best for you in your love life to get to your goals. Then the family word, the intuitive word for family life, is gratitude. Feeling a sense of gratitude, knowing that all of our family members are in our life for a reason. They're all teaching us something or activating something within us, and we're also there in their life for a reason, doing the same. So really just feeling that sense of gratitude and that connection and that ability to be present with our family. And then our spiritual life intuitive word of this week is pleasure. Really tapping into pleasure of spirit, really connecting to your pleasure center, allowing yourself to feel spiritually connected to all of the joy that is around you and all of the joy that you're manifesting in your life, and feeling the bliss of that connection to spirit. Okay, so work life expansion, love life choices, family life gratitude, and spiritual life pleasure. Okay, so let's go ahead and go right into the astrology. Lots and lots of things to talk about. I'm going to start with the astrology. Sorry guys, I don't know what happened. I'm going to start with the astrology of this week, and then I am going to go into some of the full moon energy, or new moon, I'm sorry, some of the new moon energy in Pisces that we're going to expect on Sunday, okay? All right, so first let's talk about the Mercury retrograde. That's happening tomorrow as we transition. We're actually transitioning into it overnight. So Mercury goes retrograde overnight tonight into tomorrow, and it's retrograde in Pisces, okay? It also started out in retrograde in Aquarius and kind of moved into Pisces, and then it goes direct in Aquarius. So there's a lot of energy here in Aquarius as well, but let's focus on the Pisces aspect of it. So Mercury in retrograde in Pisces means that we're really going to be rethinking, revisiting, reviewing, which is part of the Mercury retrograde in any experience, but we're going to be reviewing all of those things from a place of unconditional love, which Pisces represents, and this ability to feel into our emotions as we rethink, revisit, and review things in our life. And our communication is also going to be very connected to our emotions. So it will most likely feel a little bit diluted. Our communication will feel a little diluted based on that watery energy, where we might not be able to fully communicate everything we feel in a clear way, or it may be misunderstood by some people. And that's just part of the Mercury retrograde, but this Mercury retrograde isn't going to be as intense as other ones because we have a pretty simple energy. The Mercury retrograde isn't really interacting with a ton of other influences throughout it this time. And so we're going to, and it's the first one of the year. So it's going to be kind of mild, which can give everybody a little bit of sigh of relief. And also it's all about what you put into it. So if you go into the Mercury retrograde saying, this is going to be horrible, this is going to be so difficult, I don't know what I'm going to do, I'm going to be misunderstood by everybody, then that's what's going to happen. So really thinking into it in a positive way. Again, of course, we talked about this week being a very manifesting week already. So putting in what you want to get from that Mercury retrograde is important. There's a lot of freedom expressed through our feelings with this Mercury retrograde as well. And there may be some complex layers of our feelings that we'll have to sort through in detail throughout this Mercury retrograde as well. So getting really clear on your emotions, getting really clear on your love and unconditional love and your definition of that, and expressing, communicating from that perspective is really going to help this Mercury retrograde be nice and easy for you. And the Mercury retrograde lasts from the 17th to March 9th, okay, from February 17th to March 9th. So it's a 3-week, about 2.5, 3-week process. And we always have 3 Mercury retrogrades in the year. So this is the first of 3, okay? Then on the 20th of February to 2020, we are seeing Jupiter sextile Neptune. This is a huge astrological event. And the actual numerological value of that day is 8, which represents empowerment and leadership, clarity, inspiration, and peace, okay? So we're going to feel a lot of that on the 20th. And this is going to be an expansion as well. Jupiter represents expansion, and it's going to be expansion of wisdom. Neptune brings us that higher mind, that wisdom, that dreamy energy, and we're going to feel a lot of joy in pursuing our dreams with that Jupiter sextile Neptune. So lots of bliss, lots of positivity here, lots of blessings and abundance coming forth for us on the 20th as well. And then It's pretty interesting because Jupiter moves into Aquarius by the end of the year. Jupiter's so powerful this year because we had that stellium in Capricorn where Jupiter, Saturn, and Pluto were all in conjunction in Capricorn on the 12th of January, which was the biggest stellium, one of the biggest astrological events we've seen in the last 500 years. The last time this happened was 500 years ago. So I'm going to go into that in a little bit more detail in a second. But Jupiter is a big influencer this year, and that stellium, that conjunction in Capricorn with all of those planets, is going to affect us throughout the entire year. So if you haven't gotten a chance to watch some of the readings on that from January, go back to the old readings on January 12th and the week before, where I'm talking about the stellium, because that's going to be important for you to understand throughout the year. And so when Jupiter moves into Aquarius end of the year, that's going to kind of be the real signifier, one of the first signifiers of the age of Aquarius, of us entering the age of Aquarius from the age of Pisces. So really powerful, strong shifts this year in that way. And that's why all that 2020 clarity is happening. And that's why things are moving so fast and things are so intense, because it's such an astrological influence, okay? So then on the 22nd of February, 2/22/2020, which is the end of our 2222 portal, feel the Sun sextile Uranus, which is going to bring us new plans, new purpose. Feel the Sun sextile Uranus, which is going to bring us new plans, new purpose. And it's going to kind of launch us into all that we have worked on in this 2222 portal. So it's going to launch us in from our observation and our manifestation, our trust and our faith in those things, and then our revealing of our passion and purpose. And then we're going to launch from that into our new purpose, into our new paths, and we're going to feel the real new beginning of our evolution. So this is going to be a big, big, big shift. We're moving into our purpose. The pursuit of purpose is very active on that day, and that's when that 2222 portal will end. And then I also want to preface that by saying that right before then and throughout the week, we really got to move into action and movement, and we're going to see a lot of exciting changes, because we are going to feel Mars trine Uranus right before that on the 21st, which is going to help us move and act. And Mars is all about acting, and Uranus is all about that higher energy, that kind of freedom energy. So we're going to be acting on our freedom. We're going to be acting on our new path, our new purpose, our passions, our ability to express our individuality and to pursue what we know individually we are meant to pursue. So that's going to be a really powerful shift towards the middle of the week on those days, the 20th, the 21st, the 22nd, okay? And then we're going to finish this week out on Sunday on February 23rd, on Sunday, with the Pisces new moon. Okay, so I'm going to go into this in detail because this is a big, big deal here. So the Pisces new moon, 2/23/2020, the numerological value of that is 11. It's the day after the 2222 portal. We're seeing an 11 in the numerological value of that date the next day. So kind of this unification of everything we've experienced in the 2222 portal. And we're going to feel this really new beginning, this new alignment within ourselves. The sun and moon are at 4 degrees on the new moon in Pisces. And this is really important because the 2020 year is a 4 year, it adds up to 4. And so the sun and moon being in 4 degrees is going to be important because 4 represents this connection of putting things in order, this harmony, this ability to release challenges and sort things all out, and getting a lot of angelic guidance. So we're going to feel that really amplified throughout the year and throughout this Pisces new moon on Sunday. Now, we're also going to feel the sun and moon conjunct Mercury during this Pisces new moon. And that's going to mean that we're going to start sharing more of our spiritual insights. We're going to feel more inclined to act on our spiritual insights and to communicate them. And so we've got that Mercury influence. And like we said, the Mercury is in retrograde. So it's going to be important to take time to think before you speak, to intuit before you speak, and to really make sure you're clear in your communication of your spiritual insights and your emotional energy as well. So we're going to build a lot on this new moon day. We're going to feel the new beginnings really activating for our sense of building, for our sense of movement, for our sense of action. And Pisces is all about boundless opportunity, no limits limitless energy, unconditional love, like we talked about, shared experiences, and unseen energetic impacts, okay? Which is really important because I want to bring this to your attention as well. I was doing some research on the new moon in Pisces, and I ended up landing on this amazing share about how the things that are happening in China, the coronavirus, astrologically is really connected to what we've been seeing shift astrologically this year. And so there's this thing that they do, I can't remember what it's called. It's got some cool name like astrotypology or something like that, where you can literally look at the natal chart of the countries that we have. And so when you look at China's natal chart and you notice how things have shifted this year for China astrologically, you'll see the links to Saturn and Pluto and even Jupiter that connect over the lines of China. And it all reflects that stellium in Capricorn on January 12th. So on January 12th, we had the stellium, and it really disrupted systems, structures, security, and in the purpose of rebirthing it all with that Pluto energy and expanding it all with the Jupiter energy and teaching us valuable lessons with the Saturn energy and kind of cleansing the unnecessary. And so really interesting that we see that those lines all started in China and were really, really active over China during that stellium. And that's kind of when the coronavirus started. And then we're noticing that as it continues on, we're seeing the evolution astrologically of the experiences in China really matching up with this energy. So do your research on that because it's so interesting, and I could talk about it for hours. But it's a lot of complex energy. So just know that the systems in China have been changing with the Capricorn energy. There's a lot of expansion there and population, and the unseen energetic impacts of this new moon in Pisces are really focused on the systems, the lymphatic system. Pisces rules the colds and flus and lymphatic system and hidden illnesses when you look at medical astrology. So it's really interesting that we're feeling and seeing the peak of this coronavirus, this big issue in China during this new moon in Pisces that rules colds, flus, lymphatic system, and all of the from the Capricorn conjunction in January on China with the disruption of all of these things as well. So the biggest thing to understand is that, and the Neptune actually rules Pisces, and Neptune is in charge of viruses in medical astrology. So it all comes together. It's really, really interesting. And some people say that Pluto rules viruses as well, which is all about rebirthing. And we saw the Pluto in conjunction in Capricorn as well. And those lines run over China when you look at the Chinese natal chart. So lots of really strong connections here. And if you remember, we talked about when the stellium happened on January 12th, we talked about how it hadn't occurred in 500 years, and that 500 years before there was that dancing plague in France that killed a lot of people and the plague was like this weird plague that swept over people and made them dance until they died. Like literally they were like moving, they couldn't stop moving, they were like dancing uncontrollably until they would pass out or die or just get so exhausted that their heart would stop. It was really interesting. So thinking about how this all happens and how that was a memorable event 500 years ago when that stellium happened back then, and also back then that's when Martin Luther left the Catholic Church, and that was a big memorable time and historical event during that conjunction, that stellium in Capricorn back then. So now we're here again 500 years later, and we're seeing a virus that's sweeping over China, just similar to the dancing plague that swept over France back then. And we're also seeing things shifting in political systems and spiritual systems. We're seeing this awakening in spirituality versus religion, and just this really big shift that will probably be documented in our history books from this point forward as well. So all of it's connected. Really, really interesting. And that Neptune, that Jupiter sextile Neptune energy is also really important because that happens 3 days before this new moon in Pisces. And so we're going to feel the growth exponentially. We're going to feel more practical manifestation. And so Jupiter is also in relation to justice. So we're going to feel things coming into justice. We're going to be held accountable for our actions and our behaviors and our beliefs, and our choice to evolve or choice to stay where we're at. So really making sure you're making the right choices to expand and that you're open to what's best for you and you're free in moving through that. So we're also going to see V square Jupiter during this Pisces new moon, and that's going to really encourage us to act on positivity and act on pleasure and expand on our pleasure and positivity. So that's going to really get us through, and it's going to be so important for us to stay positive because it's a lot of mind energy too, even in regards to the coronavirus. I know there's been a couple of cases out here in the United States. So just stay positive. Don't let fear or doubt or this sense of pessimism come over you and think that you're going to get this virus, because it's all about mentality. It's all about positive thinking, and it's all about manifesting the health that you desire and taking care of your body, of course. This is our opportunity to take advantage of the check-in on our body and our immune system and to really activate that even more. So stay positive. Don't let the fear and the news get your mind off center. Try not to watch all of that stuff because it's not going to do anything for your subconscious in absorbing all of that fear. And just act from a place of knowing that you're healthy and that you take care of yourself and that you're protected by spirit and that you're in your own manifestation power, okay? All right, so that is really important. Let me see if I'm missing anything, you all, because I don't want to miss anything at all. Okay. No, there's nothing I'm really missing. The only thing I will say is that the next moon after this Pisces new moon is the Virgo full moon. And in medical astrology, Virgo runs our body, our physical systems, our immune system. So as we're moving from the Pisces, the lymphatic, the colds, the flus, the virus energy of Neptune, we're moving into a healing, a physical immune system boost with the Virgo full moon. So that's kind of how we're evolving in medical astrology as well, which I thought was so interesting and so important to focus on during this time right now that we're seeing all these things happen in China. And so interesting to see how the world is fully influenced by astrology as well. So hopefully you really got an understanding from that. We are rebirthing from the stallion with this Pisces new moon. So we're feeling the official shift from the stallion that we felt in January, rebirthing us from that activation and feeling a new path, a new purpose, a new insight moving forward from this place. So I'm going to go over more of the new moon in Pisces. I'll do the channeled messages next week where I channel each of the signs for you. So you have something to look forward to there, where we'll talk about how each of the signs are influenced by the astrology, by the new moon. And I'll channel the messages that time next week, okay? That way we can have a little bit of energy of preparation for this I keep thinking it's a full moon, for this Pisces, and then we'll tap into the energy next Sunday, p.m. Central Time, to talk about how each sign is being influenced and how we can move forward from that time, okay? Let's see how you're all doing before I pull some cards. Ima G is here. Hello. She says, I'm watching on Roku. Just had a green globly glitch. Anyone else see that distortion? But Black Diamond said, yes, it went away. That's interesting. I think maybe the green is like heart chakra or emotions or just an energy of healing. Green represents healing. So it's funny, I was talking about the illnesses and healing the body. Linda says, thanks for the well wishes on the job and wanting this for so long, moving out of my 25 years to live in a fifth wheel state parks. Yeah, congrats, Linda, on the new job. That's great. Super exciting. All right, I'm so glad you're all doing well. I'm glad that you're all here. I see Black Diamonds here too. So happy to see you. All right, so let's go ahead and pull some cards. And I'll talk about some announcements. I actually got through this reading quicker than I thought, which was great. Hopefully you guys got a really nice full spectrum summary of the energy of this week. Remember to pursue your purpose this week, to act on your intentions and on your manifestations, to put action and commitment behind it, and to really focus on positivity and well-being, okay? All right, so let's take some deep breaths. Nice deep inhale. Big breath out to relax. Another deep breath in. Big breath out as we prepare for the cards of this week with another deep breath in, expanding, biggest one yet. And exhaling fully to relax. Pulling a card for the beginning of the week first. Beginning of the week from the Voyager deck. I also am going to pull an extra card because I got a brand new card deck this last week from my dear friend and graphic designer, Brandy. And she gave me this amazing card deck. It's the crystal deck, the crystal stone deck. And so this is going to be really, you can't see anything because the light is like blinding it, but it does have crystals on it. And I'm going to pull this deck in just a second to get some crystal suggestions for this week during this energy. So I'll do that in just a second. But let's pull a card for the end of the week, and I'll pull a moon card as well. So a couple of announcements that I have this week. I just want to remind everybody who's been interested in that Belize retreat that I'm hosting in April, the Ethical Witches and Wizardry retreat in Belize, where we're going to be traveling to the ancient Mayan ruins, swimming in the Caribbean Sea, kayaking to secret beaches, and activating our inner mystic through forging our own magic tools and doing our own magic circles and spells in an ethical way and learning about the history of magic. So if you're interested in that retreat, there's only 2 weeks left, a little under 2 weeks left to take advantage of the 10% discount for the early bird special. So you get 10% off any accommodation that you choose, and then you only have to pay 25% of that price to set in your deposit and lock in your spot for that Belize retreat. So if you're interested and you want to take advantage of that 10% discount, make sure you submit your deposit before or on February 28th, which is in a couple of weeks, okay? And you can go to the link that I posted, and I'll repost it in this description of this video, and it's in other videos as well. If you're interested in that retreat, you can go to the last live video and the one before and go to the description, and that link is there. So you click on the link for the Belize retreat, you go to the accommodations, and then you'll decide which accommodation you choose, take 10% off that, and then 25% of that total is what will be due for a deposit before the 28th. And there's information on the bottom of that page on where to send your deposit and who to email, okay? So really important that you take advantage of that. Super exciting. And also, if you're interested in one-on-one coaching with me and mentorship, I have put together 3 different paths that you can choose from that will best fit you. So you can choose any one of the 3 paths of coaching and mentorship. 2 of those paths include the Belize retreat. So if you're interested in learning more about the mentorship one-on-one program and coaching, please definitely use the link in the description that I'll be posting in this reading and that I've posted in other readings, and sign up for a free consultation call, a free hour of coaching with me so you can get a feel for what the coaching's like, and then we'll discuss the paths of coaching that are available. And this is an opportunity for you to really take advantage of both the coaching, the course, and the Belize retreat if you're interested. So if you want to get in on a call, I have spots available this week still, and it'd be a really great opportunity for you to get all the information if you're already into that Belize retreat and you want to have some of the coaching too. Really great opportunity, okay? Also, I just started a Starseed Facebook group, you guys. So if you're interested in joining the online community for Starseed energy and galactic connections, then please email me at readingsbyrissa@gmail.com, or you can comment below, and just, I prefer email because it'll be easier. Sometimes the comments get hard to filter through. So email me, readingsbyrissa@gmail.com, if you want to be added to the Facebook group, and make sure to include your Facebook name so I can invite you to that, because I will be hosting even more starseed gatherings online, which we just had our first one on Tuesday. I know Susan was there, and many of you watching at home were there as well. So thank you all for joining that. I'm going to pull one card for the new moon in Pisces, and then we'll review the cards. And then I'm going to pull one from the crystal deck. What is the best crystal for us to connect with during all of these influences in astrology and spirit? Ooh, that's pretty. Okay. Let's start with the weekly cards. Beginning of the week card, balance. This is our balance card, okay? So important to stay in balance at the beginning of the week. We talked about the harmony of our energy, the harmony of our truth, our passion, our action, our commitment, our purpose, and harmonizing, balancing all of that, mind, body, and spirit. So that's going to be the main focus in the beginning of the week, balance. Next card, middle of the week, Archangel Jophiel with forgiveness. Forgiveness is key, really helping us to heal and helping us to let go of anything that we've still been holding on to that doesn't serve us, so that we can really open up to all the blessings that are available to this week. But we can't open up to the new blessings unless we let go of the old. And one of the best ways to let go of old is to forgive any energy that you haven't forgiven yet. That includes forgiving yourself, forgiving others involved, forgiving the energy or the experience that might have rocked you around in the beginning of the year. Whatever it is, forgiveness will lead you to letting go and opening up to all of the new positive potential and success available to you this week. End of the week card is self-love. So important. This also refers to the body care we were talking about, really caring for yourself, nurturing yourself, staying focused on love. And that unconditional love of Pisces is really coming in here with this energy as well. And even the Valentine's Day weekend that we're in right now, carrying that into next week with this ability to self-love and to really define love for yourself in a very powerful way, really checking in. The card says, now is the time to love, nurture, and heal yourself. Self-love is not simply a state of mind about feeling good. It's a state of appreciation for yourself that grows and matures from actions you take to support your mind, body, and soul. I love how it says that it's about appreciation for yourself and that it grows and matures. That's kind of that expansion of Jupiter that we've been feeling. And it grows and matures from the actions. Remember, we're talking about acting on your intentions, acting on the things that you know are good for you. So from your actions that you take to support your mind, body, and soul, that harmony. So all of that really coming together beautifully for this week's energy. And then the new moon in Pisces is the portal of light. You can't see that, but at least I'll show you this picture. The portal of light, it says it is only this physical reality that is bound by time and space. You are a conscious being on levels beyond the physical world. You are guided to work with your healing powers beyond the confines of time and space. You will not become ungrounded through such spiritual work. You are not leaving your earthly connection behind. You are merely adding to it. What a powerful card for the full moon in Pisces, or the new moon in Pisces. I don't know why I keep saying it's a full moon. So sorry, you guys. I hope I'm not confusing you. It's a new moon in Pisces. So really powerful for that new moon in Pisces because we're feeling that healing power. We talked about the Chinese energy and the coronavirus and everything, feeling into our healing power, really connecting to our expansion beyond time and space, which Pisces is all about limitless, boundless energy, right? So really expanding past time and space and really knowing that we're adding to our light, this portal of light for the new moon in Pisces. So really cool. And then lastly, the crystal card that I pulled, I hope you guys can see that. It's kind of hard. Let's see if I can turn this down. Here we go. So this is the emerald crystal card. Really, really cool. I'm going to read the description. It says, what it is, emerald is one of the 4 precious gemstones. Emerald radiates with a wet, lush, verdant energy. Historically, emerald is associated with love, beauty, and sex. So if you're into any of that, you might want to associate yourself with the saturated green gem. Who needs it? The aestheticists, the bohemians, and the transcendentalists, okay? So if you're somebody that really values appearance, if you're really kind of chill and like bohemian, if you're into transcendentalism and transcending space and time, which we were just talking about, then you want to grab an emerald for this week. And it's good to put it on a chain over your heart to really activate the heart energy. This is going to help balance the heart and mind like we talked about, or on a ring at the base of your left thumb, perched on top of the Venus mount, which the Venus mount is like right here. So really cool. And it says when to use it. It's best to use this emerald crystal when you've temporarily lost the courage to love or be loved, when you're in need of a total refresh, to open your heart to limitless possibility with the emerald, okay? So perfect. I mean, these cards just totally combine everything we talked about and summarize it so beautifully. So again, a refresher, balance in the beginning of the week, forgiveness in the middle of the week, self-love in the end of the week, portal of light for the portal of light for the new moon in Pisces, and then emerald for the crystal, okay? So powerful. So of course, I always do a little review of the cards in the description if you need to revisit those. And then I'll also, you'll see the pictures of them on my little thumbnail that I post, okay? Nita says, will any green stone do? Yes, any green stone will connect you with the heart chakra, so that can be very useful. Emerald just happened to be the one that really stuck out from the cards. And the mantra for that emerald crystal is point your heart towards grace. So I am pointing my heart towards grace. Phil says, I have lost 2 emeralds due to the jeweler using a piss poor setting. Oh no. Yeah, well, time to get yourself another one if you can, right? And just maybe put it on a pendant. Good to see you, Phil. Thanks for joining. Time to find a special emerald, Ema says. Yes, absolutely. All right, you all. Well, I'm so happy to have connected with you today. Thank you so much for joining me on this beautiful live reading. Thank you all at home who are watching the replay. And make sure to keep watching these readings throughout the week. You can replay this reading anytime that you want. Super important to do so because your energy will shift throughout the week and you might hear things that you didn't hear this time around later on in the week that you really need to hear. So allow yourself to revisit and also share this reading with your friends and family, your coworkers, your spirit tribe, your soul tribe, anybody that you feel like needs this energy and this guidance. Definitely share it. I'd love to increase the subscribers on this channel, continually building this Web of Light community. And thank you all for always joining here live every Sunday, 1:11 p.m. Central Time to connect with me for these readings. I will see you next Sunday for another live reading. I cannot wait, and we'll talk even more about the new moon in Pisces then. Until then, y'all, peace, love, and I'll talk to you soon.